friends, back to Massage with Katrina. I'm Katrina, and today's video is our 30-minute version of self-massage for dental hygienists. This video is going to focus on primarily hands and forearms, neck, shoulders, and back. So that being said, let's get you taken care of. So in the shorter video, I show you how to foam roll your back, but for this longer video, we're actually not going to do that in the video. If you would like to foam roll your back, I would say go ahead and do that, but we are going to focus more on doing self-massage for this 30-minute video. To start off, we're going to focus on the lower back. So go ahead and find a comfortable position on the floor. I'm going to be sitting on my massage table just for the sake of the video. But get into this position. You can put your foot against your knee here. Bring it up as high as you can up against your thigh. I just want you to find a place where you feel a bit of a pull in your low back and maybe even your quads too. We're just kind of stretching out like low back, hips, and quads area. So once you find a good position to be in, I want you to just lean forward. Don't crank into the stretch. Like, we're not trying to pull anything or strain any muscles, but if you can grab your toes, that's great. If you can grab your heel or even go farther, that's awesome. Some of you might just be comfortable resting a hand on your knee, maybe even your shin too. Whatever feels good in this position. Just lean towards your foot, and you don't need to look at your foot. You can turn to the side. I love movement when I'm stretching, and so I usually will rock kind of back, a little bit of a sway back and forth, and I feel that pulling in my inner thigh, kind of even into my knee. I feel it in my low back. And wherever you're feeling a pull, just kind of lean into that. Take a deep breath. Just lean back and forth. And then once you've gotten fairly situated, go ahead and reach this hand back. And we're basically going to squeeze with your thumb and your fingers. You're going to squeeze the side body here in that lower back area. Kind of find your lowest rib, and we're going to squeeze from there down into the hip. Starting up at the rib, kind of working your way down into your hip, and then just working your way back up. And once you've kind of got that figured out, go ahead and add some movement again. Add a bit of a sway. You might want to lean forward, sit back up. We're just kind of squeezing that lower back area. And if you're like me, your thumb might already be getting tired. And if that's the case, go ahead and stop using your thumb and just use your fingers and the heel of your palm and squeeze that way. And my fingers are right up against my spine. So I'm kind of, sometimes I'll draw a little circular motion down my spine as I'm squeezing. Just trying to get some movement in there. See, now I'm drawing little circles with my fingers right along my spine. And then I'll squeeze my way down. And you might feel like you're able to go a little bit farther into the stretch. That's great. If you can, without straining anything too much, go ahead and do that. And now what I'm going to do is switch to my fist. Oh, bless you, Moses. Moses is my cat, and oftentimes he's comes in here because he's curious about what the heck I'm doing. Hi, Moses. So what I'm doing is making a fist and starting, same thing, kind of right at the base of that lowest rib. And I'm starting right, so let's see, this is my spine. I'm making a fist right next to my spine and sliding down, just sliding down to my hip while I'm doing this stretch. You might feel a bit more of a pull now, but I'm just sliding up and back down, applying pressure on those muscles. And then I'm starting to work my way out towards the side body, so working my way away from the spine. Just really trying to get a good stretch into those muscles. And then go ahead and do that squeezing motion again. I'm using the heel of my palm along with my fingers, just kind of squeezing that low back. All right, awesome. Now let's switch to the other side. Perfect. So once you've gotten situated and you've got your foot placement in a spot that feels good, go ahead and lean into that stretch. Might feel pretty sore on this side. Again, don't crank into the stretch. I'm just gonna ease into it. Love that lower back. Treat it nicely. Don't want to hurt anything or strain anything. And see, I'm already doing more of a rocking motion, trying to get some movement into here. If you've got neck and shoulder pain, which you probably do, go ahead and just sway your head side to side too. Deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then when you're ready, same thing, we're going to take this hand behind the back, and I'm starting down at the hip and just squeezing that side body. Placing my other fingers back towards my spine while my thumb is kind of hooking around the side, really squeezing all that muscle that's beneath that lowest rib. And still taking deep breaths, and if you've stopped swaying, go ahead and give a little bit more movement in there again. And see, my thumb's already getting tired, so I've switched to using the heel of my hand on the side body and just squeezing together like so. And just kind of feeling where you're tight and sore and giving that some attention. Just giving that area a little bit of massage. And I'm looking towards my toes because I feel like that actually is giving me a little bit more of a stretch. Okay, and then when you're ready, go ahead and make a fist and start right next to your spine and just slide down those muscles right along your spine, down and back up. And as I do this, I'm working my way out towards the side body, just working my way away from the spine. And if you can lean a little bit farther forward, that's great. Go ahead and do that. We're just slowly lengthening out these muscles in the lower back. All right, and I'm kind of working my way back towards my spine. And let's do that one more time. Up and down with your fist as you work your way out towards the side body. All the way out. Perfect. You might need to sit up and move around, stretch a little bit, and then get back into that stretch. And lastly, we're just doing that squeezing motion again. Right in that lower back area. All right. Awesome. Go ahead and sit up carefully, maybe move around a little bit. You might want to take both your hands here. I'll sit forward just so you can see, but take both your hands and in that cupping shape, just squeeze the low back, maybe lean forward, sit back up. I'm actually hooking my side with my thumb to get a better squeeze. And also, sometimes it helps to just squeeze and hold. So squeeze and hold an area that's tight, and then just move your torso around. Activate those muscles just to get a good stretch and work out that tension that's built up in your fascia. Squeeze and then move your torso around. Do a bit of a jig. Perfect. And then maybe work your way down a little bit lower. Still breathing. Just doing your little massage jig. All right, awesome. Perfect. That was the lower back. All right, now for the part you've all been waiting for, we're going to work on those upper traps and the neck. And I found this part's actually better if you can sit up to a counter and rest your elbows on it while you work your traps, but this is fine too if you're just sitting. Go ahead and put your hand in a cupping shape using the heel of your palm. You're going to squeeze with your fingers, squeeze and hold. Take a deep breath. And then just slide over a bit, squeeze, and take a deep breath and hold. And just keep working your way up your neck. So I'm not using my heel of my hand as much for the neck. I'm more using my fingers in the back. But go ahead and squeeze, hold, take a deep breath. Go ahead and adjust a bit and squeeze and take a deep breath. Out. Awesome. Same thing. Grip those upper traps, squeeze, take a deep breath in. And then go ahead and slide your way in, squeeze, deep breath. And slide your way up, squeeze the back of that neck. And then work your way up into those suboccipitals, squeeze. And a deep breath out. Awesome. Now that we've kind of settled into the mood, we're going to squeeze, but do it in faster intervals, kind of working our way up the neck, squeeze, and then work your way back down. Squeeze in those upper traps, just kind of get some blood flowing and trying to get that loosened up. All right. Awesome. So next we're going to stretch out the front of your neck. So go ahead and take your fingers and place them right behind your ear, and we're just going to draw a line straight down into the collarbone. So starting behind the ear, going down to the collarbone on both sides. Apply pressure, and as you start sliding down, go ahead and tilt your head, tilt your chin specifically up towards the ceiling. Deep breath in. We're really just trying to get a good stretch. Tilt your head all the way back, and you'll just stop once you hit the collarbone. Do that a few more times. Just slide down that muscle. This one's called the sternocleidomastoid, which is a mouthful, so most of us just call it the SCM. But this is a major tight muscle, especially for you dental hygienists that are like hunched forward. You know, you're working in this tiny little space, and so this SCM muscle is flexed constantly. And after a while, it just stays tight and flexed, which is not what we want. That's what causes pain. Awesome. Okay, and then stay looking up. You're actually going to start at the collarbone with those fingertips and just slide in that same path up behind the ears. Just stay looking at the ceiling. And then go ahead and slide back down. Maybe tilt your chin and your head back a bit. And then same thing, stay looking at the ceiling as you push your way up. I'm actually not using my pinkies, just using the other fingers, and go up in behind those ears. Maybe draw a few circles back here just to make that feel better. Awesome. Now we're going to move to the back of the neck. And instead of starting at the base of the skull, we're actually going to start at the junction of where the neck connects to the shoulders. So go ahead and place your fingers on either side of the spine there. And looking down, you're going to slide those fingers up the back of your neck into the suboccipitals. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Maybe draw some circles up in that hairline a bit. And then same thing. And this time you're going to tilt your head side to side as you look straight down. I'm really just trying to get some movement back into that neck of yours that has stiffened up just from working hard. Same thing. Do that a couple more times, just very slowly. You're going to slide your fingers up. I've only made it about halfway at this point. Now I'm getting to those suboccipitals. Draw some circles. Maybe stretch your neck to the side, because that's what's next. We're going to be, instead of having your fingers on either side of your spine, just move outward just a bit. So you're not quite in the side of your neck, but almost there, kind of back side of the neck. Same thing, starting down at the junction of the shoulders, look straight down and swing your head left to right as you slide those fingers up nice and slowly. Perfect. Maybe draw some circles in those suboccipitals, and we'll do that a couple more times. Looking straight down as you swing your head left to right. Just working your way up, and then once you get to the suboccipitals, this time you're just going to Slide back down the way you came. Tilt your head side to side. Awesome. And same thing, starting at the suboccipitals, starting at the shoulders, at the base of your neck, work your way back up, swinging your head side to side, and then back down again. Okay, awesome. My neck's probably nice and red. And then to finish off, we'll just squeeze those upper traps again. So squeeze, work your way up into your neck. You might want to tilt your head down. And I'm really using my fingers to kind of really press into the back of my neck, kind of drawing circles as I squeeze with the heel of my hand. I'm also pulling that fascia away from the spine. Sometimes it really adheres to the spine. And so we're just really trying to create some space in there. And I'm just pulling out. Tilt your head side to side and slide back down the side. Okay, awesome. Let's move to the next part. All right, so a huge factor of neck and shoulder pain that tends to be always overlooked is actually the pectoralis major and minor muscles. They're across the chest and into the anterior shoulder. So what I'm going to do is show you a good stretch. So go ahead and bring your arm and your elbow at a 90-degree angle and find a good door jamb in your house and just lay your forearm and hand right on the door jamb. And once you've positioned yourself like so, go ahead and take a step forward and just lean. And you should feel a good pull in, you might feel it in your bicep, but mostly we're trying to focus on that anterior shoulder and maybe into your chest. You might feel like it's pulling on your collarbone a little bit, and that is perfect. That means you're doing it right. So once you've kind of settled, maybe take a deep breath. And once you've kind of settled into that stretch, I want you to take your flat part of your fist. You're going to drag that across your chest, right beneath your collarbone here, and out to your shoulder. So I'll do that again. That was probably kind of confusing. So butt your knuckles right up against your sternum. And then I want you to be also butted up the underside of your collarbone here. Take a deep breath and just apply pressure and stretch that out. Now, if your fist feels kind of awkward, you can use the heel of your hand too, and maybe hold on to your shoulder with your fingers and kind of work your way out. That works better for me. Scratch the fist if that doesn't work very good for you. But yeah, see, now I'm actually squeezing the deltoid and kind of the biceps attachment here, but also that pec muscle attachment. So just sliding right under that collarbone across your chest. And you see I'm just like pulling my shirt all crazy. But do your best. And just really try to work that out. I've kind of leaned back, so lean forward again. Make sure you're getting that good stretch in that pectoralis major. And just work your way over into that shoulder. Really trying to stretch that out. See, now I'm using my fist to kind of apply pressure in a circular motion, trying to just get that muscle attachment to chill out. It is real tight. All right, awesome. And then once you do that, go ahead and switch to the other side. So go ahead and make a 90-degree angle with your forearm and elbow and lean up against a door jamb. Go ahead and take a step forward. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Kind of get situated. Make sure you're getting a nice pull in the front of your shoulder, especially right here. You might feel it in your bicep, might feel it more in your chest. Go ahead and take another deep breath in. Deep breath out. And then we're going to be using this other hand. I'll just start with the heel of my hand. Same thing. Go ahead and place it right along that sternal bone and then right beneath the collarbone. And I'm just going to use my other fingers to kind of brace while I work my way over that pectoralis major. Really focusing on that attachment site right in the front of the shoulder here. Make sure you're breathing. And I feel like sometimes I just have to play around with how I work out these muscles. So now I've switched to using the flat part of my knuckles, and I'm kind of just twisting my way over to that muscle attachment. There we go. Maybe switch back to that squeezing motion. Really try to get that muscle attachment worked out. Not pull my hair in the process. And I feel like I'm actually really tight right along the underside of my collarbone here. So I'm taking the heel of my hand and really trying to apply some extra pressure under that collarbone. And I'm kind of applying pressure and scooping out towards my shoulder with every one of these movements. There we go. Okay, maybe lean forward a bit more if you need to and use that fist to just get a good slide all the way across that muscle. Perfect. Maybe a few more twists again just to get a good stretch. And perfect. Go ahead and shake that out. And let's move on to the last part. And I have saved last but not least for hands and forearms. Now that they're feeling all sore from massaging everything else, let's give them some attention. So go ahead and make sure you're in a sitting position. You can sit crisscross applesauce like I am, or sit at a chair that's like up to a desk so you can rest your forearm on a desk. Whatever you need to do, but just rest your forearm and hand on something so that you can get to it with the other side. So we are going to start with just really working out the fascia in your forearm. So use your other forearm and place it right in the crook of your elbow. And you don't really even need lotion for this. I'm just gonna slide using just even the oils of your own hand. You're gonna slide all the way down. And then when you get to the wrist, right at this junction of the wrist and hand, you're gonna use the point of that elbow and just slide right between all of those carpal bones. So you're sliding right through the middle. And do that a couple times. Just very slowly. Don't rush this. Your forearms and your hands do so much work. So let's give them the attention that they need. Slide into that hand using the point of your elbow. And actually you can slide clear through the hand into those knuckles. And then same thing. Find a good place in the crook of that elbow and just start sliding your way down. Just like that. Okay, use the elbow to really get into that fascia of the wrist. And then go ahead and flip your hand over because we're going to get the back side of the forearm. Same thing. Kind of find the crook of that elbow and just very slowly slide your way down. Pay attention to maybe some areas that are tighter than others. Like if you feel like you are more sore right along this inner edge of the forearm, or maybe vice versa, you're sore there, really focus on that. So try to take the point of your elbow and just, I don't want to say dig into that muscle, but kind of dig into that muscle. Just very slowly and thoroughly stretch that fascia out. The slower you go, the better. If you move too fast, you'll actually aggravate these muscles that are tight and you won't be able to get them to loosen up. They will just fire up, you'll feel it, it's really painful, and it won't do you any good. So the slower you move, the better. You'll just get a way more thorough stretch and self-massage this way. So I'm just sliding all the way through. And your fingers sometimes will curl while you do this because these are the muscles that flex and extend your fingers. And so I always think it's kind of a nerdy thing, but it's kind of fun to watch when your fingers move and you're not trying to move them. There we go. Okay, and once you've worked into that forearm, let's move into the hand. And so I don't like to use my thumb to massage the palm of my hand because then your other hand gets really tired. So instead I like to use the knuckles of my middle and pointer finger instead. And I'll just hold my hand up so you can see. But I'm going to start right at the base of the palm here. And I am using my thumb to kind of brace on the back side of my hand here. Here, can you see that? And I'm just going to apply a pretty good pressure using my knuckles. And I would recommend you put your hand down on a hard surface to be able to do this, but just for the sake of the video, I'll just show you this way. But I'm sliding up just kind of the meat of the thumb here, all of that muscle that makes up your thumb, just sliding all the way up into that webbing between your thumb and your pointer finger. And I'm just drawing lines from that point at the base of the palm up to the base of the fingers using my knuckles. So applying a pretty good pressure. And if you feel like you're not getting a good enough slide on the muscle, like it's catching on the dryness of your skin, grab some lotion, put a little bit on, don't put too much, but just enough to lubricate that skin so you can slide a little bit easier, but most of the time the oils of your own hand are enough. And I'm just working my way out to the pinky here. And then go ahead and wiggle your fingers and see if you can feel any other areas that are sore. Like I'm still a little sore through my thumb here, so I'm just going to take my knuckle and just work on that spot. Very slowly apply pressure and just slide over that sore area. There we go. If you need a deeper pressure, you can use the point of your elbow too. Put your hand on a flat surface and then just use your elbow to really get into that fascia and work it out. And this will be sore, but so worth it. If you can get these muscles to lengthen back out to the length that they're supposed to be, you will have so much less pain because they're going to be functioning the way that they're supposed to. So again, I'm just using a deeper pressure and I'm drawing lines out to the base of all my fingers. And it doesn't really matter if you're targeting specific muscles. I think as long as you are just working out all of these muscles as a whole, it makes a really big difference. All right, and then once you've worked out that pinky, go ahead and shake your fingers out and we're going to move to the other side. Same thing, rest that hand and forearm on a flat surface and take the other forearm and you're just going to start in the crook of the elbow and work your way down into the hand. Nice and slow. You see my fingers curling? I always just think that's so cool. All right, do that a few times. Now that first stroke, I went down the middle of my forearm, and this stroke, I'm more on the side here. I went on this inner side, and this next stroke, I'm gonna work more the outer side, just to see where in my forearm I feel more tight. And go all the way to the base of the palm there, right through the wrist. And just do that a couple more times, really focusing on any areas you found that were more sore than others. And again, the slower you move, the better. Perfect. Okay, and then once you worked that out, go ahead and flip your forearm over. We're going to work the back side. Same thing, put that forearm right in the nook of the elbow and slide down towards the hand. I know this probably seems really repetitive, but stick with it because it really helps so much to just take this time, lengthen your muscles out that are so tight. It's going to keep you liking your job. It's hard to like your job when you're in pain all the time. And we need our dental hygienists. Perfect. Okay, a couple more strokes like that, and then we'll move into the hand. Awesome. There we go. Okay. Go ahead and shake that out. Let's move into your hand. Same thing. Use the knuckles of your other hand and really press into those hand muscles. And I'm just drawing kind of a straight line and following kind of a pattern all the way up through my muscles. Rest your hand on a flat surface and just work your way through using the point of the knuckles in your other hand. Perfect. And if you need a deeper pressure, you can switch to the point of your elbow. You know what? I'm going to switch to this side. I don't know why I've been hunched over there. And same thing, I'm just starting right at the base of the palm and working my way out to the base of the fingers. And again, go nice and slow. Don't rush this. You'll be a lot more sore if you speed through this. Awesome. Gosh, this feels so good. As a massage therapist, I need this all the time. So honestly, good for you guys for watching this video, because I think it's really hard for a lot of us to take time for ourselves. And if there was any part of your hand that was like way more sore, really fiery, painful, don't skip over it. Go back, work through that again. For me, it was this outer side of my pinky, or the pinky side of my palm. For some reason, that is really tight. So I'm just taking a little extra time, just doing a firm stroke across that muscle until that fiery pain kind of dulls out. Okay, that's feeling a little better. Awesome. Okay, awesome job everyone. That was our 30-minute in-depth massage video for dental hygienists. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, feel free to hit the subscribe button. But otherwise, I hope everyone has a great day. It's beautiful out. Get outside, get some fresh air, and I will see you next time.